Good morning, everyone. I am so happy to see both cohorts here today. We are on our last day of presentations. We've made it to the finish line. Yay! And to everyone that has presented this far, thank you so much. Your presentations have definitely been impactful. So we have a lot to unpack today in just 20 minutes, so let's get started. So I would like to begin our presentation today by introducing our fabulous team who has worked tirelessly to put this wonderful program together. Starting with Monica Parajas Dominguez, which everyone loves and knows, with the Department of Human Resources. Marvin Green with the Department of Children and Family Services. Vanessa Moody with the Chief Executive Office. Valerie Ojeda with the Department of Health Services. And myself, Zuleida Santana with the Los Angeles County Fire Department. So today our team will present a recommendation to establish the Los Angeles County Mentorship Program where leaders develop leaders. But first, let me begin by sharing what our county is comprised of. Next slide, please. Oh, no, we're on the right slide. Thank you. As you know, the County of Los Angeles has the largest population of any county in the nation with nearly 10 million residents. It is comprised of 40 departments that provide a vast range of services and is one of the largest employers in the nation with over 113,000 budgeted positions in many classifications, and all serving a common goal of enriching the lives of Los Angeles County residents. So with such a large organization, there's an important question to ask. What additional value can we, the county, offer our workforce aside from a great workplace? Now, our county does offer several development programs that focus on subject matter training and leadership, such as the Management Fellows Program, which is a pipeline program, the Management Development Program, or MDP, which is a training program for mid-level managers, and of course, the Executive Leadership Development Program, or ELDP, a curriculum for mid to senior level managers. And these are only a few of the programs that the county offers to develop its employees. However, there is definitely room for more. And as a current ELDP student and former MDP student, I can share firsthand how effective these programs are on developing new and existing leadership skills. However, I also see the need to expand on these programs to continue their effectiveness. And what better way to do this than with a mentorship program like the one that we will propose today? A mentorship program that will further strengthen the effectiveness of these programs and expand learning opportunities for all of our employees. And with that, now I turn it over to Vanessa, who will discuss research statistics and industry standards. Thank you.
Thank you, Zuli. Today's workforce is changing, and we need to prepare for that change. We must adapt and advance our thinking with regard to developing this new workforce. Research shows that 50% of employees believe the most pressing challenge facing organizations today is the lack of a strategic, thoughtful approach in identifying future leaders. Mentoring is a means to provide an extra layer of leadership development that would help in identifying those future leaders. Mentoring is not new. It has been around since the 1970s and has become more popular in the mid-1990s. So today, actually 70% of the Fortune 500 companies have adopted it as a common practice in their organizations. And as mentioned last week in Lisa Garrett's motivation and engagement session, the great resignation is here. And those leaving are being backfilled by millennials who have a strong desire to be mentored in the workplace, as seen in our research. Knowing that these millennials are the future of our workforce, we must adapt our leadership development programs to fit their needs and ensure their success. Next slide, please. As part of the development of a county mentorship program, we first wanted to benchmark with public and private sectors. We learned that the federal government adopted the Federal Workforce Flexibility Act in 2004 that requires all agencies to establish a comprehensive management succession program that includes mentoring as a required component in their leadership development courses. My assistant CEO came from the GSA and confirmed that, in fact, they do have an active, robust mentoring program. We also learned that Governor Newsom announced the California Judicial Mentor Program last year as a means to advance diversity and inclusion within the state's judicial branch. And lastly, we benchmarked with my previous company, Disney. I have to admit, I actually was the one who submitted mentoring as a suggested project at the beginning of ELDP because of the value I've seen it bring to organizations. So from my short tenure at the county, I have seen a huge gap in succession planning. I have seen critical roles within my own department remain unfilled for months and sometimes a year, where we've brought back retirees and or assigned acting managers while recruitment continued. At Disney, we had an extremely strong bench where talented cast members were ready to assume leadership position at a moment's notice. Disney built this strong bench through their leadership development programs, with one key component being mentoring. I've personally had the honor of mentoring 5 different cast members when I was an executive there. Similar to Disney, the county has a ton of tribal knowledge that cannot be taught in a classroom or by a textbook. It must be learned through personal relationships, experience, and time. Mentoring is a means to transfer this tribal knowledge and actually grow our leaders from within. So as you look at these industry standards on this slide, what you don't see is a benchmark of LA County. And that's why today we are proposing to change that. Now let me introduce Marvin, who will walk us through what does the county need.
Thank you, Vanessa, and thank you, ELDP, for providing us with this platform to design a cross-sector mentorship program that we believe will promote and sustain our county objectives. As you can see, the benefits of implementing our design will improve our selection process in hiring new staff, as well as the selected candidate being successful in their new role as an effective leader. As you can see, it developed new managers, increased knowledge sharing, improved employee engagement, and retain high potential talent. In 2014, when I was promoted to an assistant regional administrator at the West LA office, within 2 weeks, my immediate supervisor was sent home abruptly, leaving me uncovered for 9 months. With that, I had a fear of failure, which we learned is a part of leadership. I also lacked the confidence to make high potential decisions that would potentially affect my employees, but more importantly, the community in which I was entrusted to serve. Not sharing or understanding the county's visions and goals as it pertains to MAP was a hindrance. In addition to our benefits of training and mentoring, one of the major components in developing and sustaining our program is to build trust and empathy between the mentor and the mentee, as well as providing the needed support for the mentee to have positive outcomes within the organization, as well as the community in which we serve. It's transformational. We must be and bring our whole self, as well as being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Next slide, please. As we move to advance ARTI as an initiative, data has shown that women and minorities are most likely to benefit from formal mentorship program. We suggest that our mentorship program be embedded in ARTI as a fundamental pillar in actually tapping into a diverse and inclusive community. Intentional selection process to target underrepresented groups, as our demographics in LA County is swiftly changing in terms of race, ethnicity, and age. We as leaders also must be legendary. There was a speech I was at a couple years ago where the announcer said legendary in a Native American culture means providing systems that can improve and benefit 7 generations down the line. This is a targeted investment in minority groups to become mid to senior level managers, will improve the equitable distribution of leadership roles throughout our county. But also, as Vanessa said, the great resignation. We have a lot of us that will soon be walking out the door as well, and I intend to walk out the front door in a couple of years. So the pipeline to engage our younger generation is pivotal, as they will soon be our leaders tomorrow, today. Mentorship within this group has been the number one reason why they stay, as they believe the employer really have a vested interest in their ability and upward growth. As you can see, this is a tremendous investment in our own human capital to maintain the county overarching goals of equitable and sustainable services for our constituents, and also to provide support and guidance for opportunities for professional growth. There's a saying, happy wife, happy life, happy partner, happy life. I say a well-engaged, trained employee is a well-serviced community. I would like to pass it over to Valerie, who will be taking us through our next steps.
Thank you, Marvin, for sharing. If there's one thing we know from our research, it's that when coupled with training, mentorship has the power to be incredibly impactful in the workplace. As a matter of fact, I am a proud graduate of the Health Services Management Fellowship Program, and today I get to share a workspace with you all, so that's a testament in itself. But enthusiasm alone won't determine the success of a project, right? We know there are a lot of things that will impact a program and how successful it is. So my question today is the county ready for change? So let's walk really quickly through a SWOT analysis, or what I like to call the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with what the county does well. Zuli spoke about some of the programs that the county offers, and it really highlights our investment in employee development, right? There are a lot of technical and soft skill training programs. There are also pipeline programs that are bringing folks from the community in so that they are representative and working for the communities that we serve. There are also veteran and youth mentorship programs, and there's existing informal mentorships through the LACMC. So now, what does the county not do that great? Let's take a look. One of the big ones is really our reactive approach to succession planning. We know we don't do this well. Some of my colleagues mentioned how long there were vacancies in their departments for critical recruitments, and we see that often. And one of the things the county does struggle with as well is limitations of our current hiring practices, long onboarding. Folks may leave during the recruitment process because it takes so long to get someone on board. And one of the other key things is that there is a lack of continuity and support after these technical trainings, right? What happens after MDP? What happens after ELDP? How do we sustain that learning? And how do we share that information with the rest of our folks in our departments across the county? And now I'll jump into the threats. One of the biggest things in the county is that this program will undoubtedly require funding, and we don't yet have a budget, but it's something that is feasible. One of the other threats to this program potentially is the lack of advancement within the county. We may be able to train folks, we may be able to mentor them, but what if there are no positions within the county that allow for that growth? One of the things that Vanessa touched on and Lisa did during her presentation was, of course, the Great Resignation. So we see that there will be and continue to be high turnover in the Los Angeles County as one of the largest employers. So that may be a threat, right? We may not be able to fill these critical positions as quickly as we need to. But perhaps the most exciting part of this entire SWOT is the opportunities. We have a changing workforce demographic. We have a lot of millennials entering the workforce. We have a diverse group of workforce group, meaning folks are more diverse racially, ethnically, a lot of diversity in the county, and we can capitalize that, right? What can we offer this new workforce demographic that is different from what we've offered in the past and will help the county adapt? And one of the most exciting things as well is that we have some existing program infrastructure, right? And that is an opportunity for us to leverage that to really enhance what we already offer. And that's what's going to be what Monica talks to us next. Monica?
Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that handoff. So yes, we have talked about the county and succession planning and mentorship. So we've identified the issue. Okay. So now we have to be very intentional about the solution. So what does this proposed formal mentorship program look like? And who are the future mentors and mentees? Well, I'm so glad you asked, or maybe it's a rhetorical question. The framework for the program that we are recommending include what my colleagues have already touched upon: existing programs, research, industry standards, the benefits of training and mentoring, and the current state of our workforce. Yes, the great resignation is upon us and people are leaving the state of California in droves. However, we have identified two notable in-flight programs wherein alumni from these programs have already touched upon the training aspect. So we have the Executive Leadership Development Program and the Management Development Programs, who can serve as mentors and mentees respectively. Yes, the same colleagues that you and I have sat next to for the last 12 weeks in our ELDP course can serve as future mentors. Our ELDP alumni are a ready pool of individuals that possess the knowledge, skills, and abilities to serve as mentors to our emerging county leaders. Who better to lead the mentorship and development of our next level of leaders than the executive level mentors we have here before us? They have several years of work experience and institutional knowledge and remain ready to pass those nuggets on to our emerging leaders. Now, who are the intended mentees? Well, we have identified the Management Development Program alumni. And we, of course, heard from Zuleida Santana, who was part of the MDP program. And these are individuals who are interested and motivated in career advancement. But in speaking with these alums, we have learned that many of them are looking for the next step. And what does that mean? Maybe an opportunity for mentorship to be groomed as our next executive level leaders. Therefore, we are proposing a feasible solution while recognizing the need for continued evaluation and planning for a permanent scalable program. Will we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So in 2022, the group has conducted research and strategic planning. And our group's research has revealed that the need for a formalized mentorship program is necessary to both grow and retain the talent pool here in our own organization. We don't want them being trained up and getting all that experience and then leaving the county of LA. So what does that mean? Maybe there's a future MAP goal in store for us, whereby the creation of a formalized mentorship program is something in the works. Stay tuned, everyone. How about 2023? Rolling out a pilot program, conducting a cost-benefit analysis, a creation of curriculum, and evaluating the pilot program to determine what worked and what didn't and what needs reworking. In 2024, we're looking at funding. Yeah, that's kind of a dirty word, I know, in the county, but I think it's something that we can do and determine resources, budget requirements, and meet objectives of the program. Creation of the program itself, policies, procedures, they provide guidelines for decision-making and streamlining internal processes. Feasibility of expansion, further examination of all aspects of the proposed project, including technical, financial, and environmental considerations as this program evolves. And ongoing in 2025 and going forward. Seems like a long time from now, but 2025 is really just around the corner as we conclude this next year of 2022. We want to see what we recommend in terms of the project work. What were the resources expended? How do we continue to grow this program? Lessons learned and how to improve. And we think that we can also do this through establishing ongoing feedback for our mentors and mentees to participate in. In summary, the former LA County Mentorship Program preserves our county pool of talent and prepares our next level leaders to assume those critical leadership roles. Let's not get caught without having a plan for succession. We thank you for your time today,